do 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 do. What's up, guys? Dan here from DansTube.TV, and we have the GoPro Hero 9 coming out very, very soon. But it looks like most of the leaks have now unveiled what we can expect from GoPro's latest flagship action camera. Now, the first thing you'll probably notice, you can't even see this right now, but the Osmo Action, which is this cutie here, it has a front-facing screen, and the GoPro fanboys, the GoPro Sphere, was just not happy about it. They said, we don't need that with the GoPro, we don't want that at all. But as you can see behind me, the GoPro Hero 9 has a front-facing screen, so it looks like people did want it. It looked like GoPro were listening to the audience, or maybe just following trends that DJI were kind of going along with. But we can see it right here. You can see that the Hero 9 Black has been officially leaked. Now, there have been a few leaks leading up to the release, which I believe is tomorrow, or the announcement is tomorrow. But right now, we've basically got everything we need to know about the Hero 9 Black. First things first, we had an unboxing video that surfaced on YouTube, and this gives away what you can expect. So let me just mute this so you don't get destroyed with the audio. It's a terribly shot video, so you can't really see what's going on, but you can see that box. You can see they've redesigned the way that it's packaged. I really like this case that you get with it. And then when you open it up, you can see the Hero 9 with that brand new front-facing display there. So that's basically all you get in this unboxing video. But this photo right here, which actually shows off the packaging, we can zoom in and we can see basically what we can expect from the Hero 9 Black. So we can see it's a 20 megapixel sensor instead of the previous 12 megapixel sensor. So it has been significantly improved for the Hero 9 Black. The other thing is that this can now shoot 5K. So it now has 5K 30 and 4K 60. It also has 1080p at 240 frames. So we've got a lot of different options now for shooting with our new Hero 9 Black. Now, I'd love to actually know in the comments below, are you thinking about picking up a new GoPro, or are you relatively happy with what you already have, whether that's another action camera or whether you have a previous GoPro Hero model? I'd love to know in the comments below, seeing as I do review a lot of action cameras and a lot of GoPros. Is this worthy of an upgrade based on what we know so far? So I'll dive into it a little bit more. It is also quite a low quality image, so I might screw up a few things, but we can see for the most part what we're actually getting here. So you get 8 times slow-mo, which is that 1080p 240 frames per second. Remarkable. That's amazing, and overkill for a lot of people. 5K is overkill for a lot of people, but it's a really nice kind of gloating metric, I guess you could say, or gloating spec that's available for the Hero 9 Black. And they're also obviously trying to compete with the Osmo Action, which has a front-facing display and is a really good 4K 60 camera. So they're trying to obviously compete with that, and then obviously there are other action cameras on the market now that are really getting a lot of attention. So the Hero 9 Black also has voice control. It looks like it's 10 meters waterproof, which I believe is just the standard for GoPro now. We can also see on the box it's got Hypersmooth 3.0, Gimbal-Like Stabilization in an action camera, which is amazing, and 3.0 is going to be that next level again. Hypersmooth 2.0 was already phenomenal and blew my mind, so whatever they're going to do with 3.0, I'm sure will be another bump on top of that. So we've got the Time Warp 3.0, 1080p live streaming. So that was something that the GoPros in the past have really lacked, and they've never had great live stream integration. So hopefully this integration is seamless and it gives us a lot more control and a lot more live streaming options. We can also shoot in RAW. There's also a webcam mode as well, which was a new kind of update that they announced for previous models. So now you can use your GoPro as a webcam, which is extremely handy. So that's that. You can see here, this is their main kind of drive, 20 megapixel, 5K 30, 10 meters waterproof, and 1080p live streaming. So, Drone DJ and Tech Radar, alongside a few other publications, have really dived into what this actually means for the new GoPro. So first things first, we can see that it's actually got a larger battery. So if I show you this photo right here, you can actually see that comparing it to the 8, it is slightly bigger than 9. And that's to actually house a larger battery and also to potentially house the other components, hardware, whatever it may be that they're trying to fit into an already quite small form factor. So this will actually mean that we have a 41% better battery life. So that also means, from my understanding, from what I saw, that the battery that we're used to in the GoPro is actually going to be changed completely. So all of those old batteries you have are now redundant if you buy the new Hero 9 Black, which will anger a lot of people, but it also means that if you're buying a Hero 9 Black and you're starting fresh, this is maybe your first action camera, or maybe you're upgrading from like a Hero 4 or from a completely different brand, this is going to be absolutely fine because you're getting that increased battery life, which is a major win for anyone that is trying to film out and about and maybe has limited battery capacity. Maybe they only have the one battery. This is going to be major. The other thing is, like I said, 5K 30 frames per second. Now I'm guessing that this will also have Hypersmooth 3.0. If it didn't, that would be a major downfall, but I'm sure it's going to have that Hypersmooth 3.0, so gimbal-like stabilization at 5K 30 frames per second. A little bit overkill in my opinion. I don't really think most people will use 5K, but you can shoot in 5K, and then if you are to downscale for some reason to 1080p to upload to YouTube, for example, you have a lot of room to crop the actual image. So that's going to be a major win for people who want to upload in 1080p. They might want to shoot 5K, and then they have a lot more to play around with in post-production. I'm also looking off to the side of the screen here, that's why I keep looking over here. The other thing is 240 frames per second at 1080p, so that's 8 times slow-mo. Again, overkill for most people, but a remarkable kind of number to put out into the world, and that's kind of what it seems to be a lot of the time. It's almost just a just a spec contest. We're trying to increase the numbers incrementally, and woo, we've got 5K now, we've got 8 times slow-mo, we've got this and that and this and that. It really does come down to the overall user experience. If they've made it the most reliable GoPro in history, then that is fantastic. If it's got 5K, that's great. But, what I'm seeing here is I personally, going from the Osmo Action, do not see any need in upgrading for 5K. That's not really on my scope right now. The other thing, we've got the new packaging like I mentioned. If we go to Tech Radar here, they had a little bit more detail. So here we go, let me just pause this. So we can see that the battery capacity is 1700 milliamp hours, which is an upgrade from 1200 milliamp hours. So that's a 40% increase of battery capacity per battery. So that is major. That's a really big thing. And that's actually one of those big improvements that actually makes a major difference to the overall user experience. That is a significant change in the way that you use the camera. It obviously gives you 40% more time, basically, or 40% more battery capacity to use your GoPro. So that's an actual improvement that you would care about. That's a big improvement for people who want better battery life. There's a few other things in here, like I went through on the packaging. A lot of kind of fluff almost, just, an improvement to hypersmooth, an improvement to time warp. That front-facing display as well. Like, is that going to be a touch display? Is it just a display? We know that with the Osmo Action, for example, let me just turn that on. If I flip the display, which you can probably not see that well, but it's not a touch display. So it's just purely a display. So I feel like the Hero 9 Black will have a similar kind of setup where it's just the display, but that's really nice for people who want to frame a shot, or if you're getting a friend to make sure that it's in focus, for example, or not in focus, but it's in frame, then they can actually just peer over and have a look. They don't have to go behind you and try to see over your head, and it just makes it a whole awkward thing. This just makes it a lot easier to frame a shot, and I will tell you that with the Osmo Action, it does make a big difference having that additional display. So it is a really nice addition, and I'm glad that GoPro have done that, but it also feels like they've just kind of copied the Osmo Action. Like, why was that not a thing for the prior 3 iterations of the GoPro? All of a sudden Osmo Action do it, or DJI do it in their Osmo Action, and now GoPro are going to follow. So It just seems to be not innovative, but more so just copying, which is not fantastic in my opinion, but it's a nice addition for people who love GoPro and wanted that. So that's, pretty decent for people out there. Overall, though, that's basically what I can see. You can see down the bottom here, so GoPro will be fighting against the Insta360 1R, which is a really impressive unit, and also the Osmo Action, like I mentioned, which you can kind of see popping in and out here. So even if we kind of compare it to what's behind me here, we can see very kind of similar. Like, there's no major difference in terms of the design aesthetically. It's very similar with the front-facing display. There's no major change here. So GoPro have obviously stuck to that kind of formula of the same form factor, the same design. They've just kind of improved it slightly, and that's really what technology is nowadays. It's incremental upgrades every year. This is a slight upgrade. 5K is great again, but I don't know. Are you guys looking forward to this? Are you in need of a new camera? Do you think it's worth it for the 20 megapixel stills and the 5K 30, or is a lot of this overkill? That's kind of it though. That's most of the rumors. You can search GoPro Hero 9 and you will find a lot of these rumors, a lot of the photos. We can see what we can expect from the packaging, from the camera itself. I would love to know if the actual lens is removable, because I know that with the Hero 8 it was not removable. A lot of people were angry about that. If you crack the lens, you have to send it to GoPro. You can't just twist it and put a new one on, which is something you can do with the Osmo Action, which is a major plus. You just literally twist that off, and you can do that with all the previous flagship GoPro models as well. Not all of them, but the most recent ones prior to the Hero 8. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to know what you think in the comments below. Are you excited about the Hero 9 Black? Is it an incremental upgrade? Is it a major upgrade in your opinion? A GoPro slipping behind other companies right now? A GoPro still relevant in the action camera space? I'd love to know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to have a fantastic day though. And peace out, guys. Chat to you soon.